So last night, I had to work until 2 a.m. like I do most nights, right?
Yeah.
But I work from home, so I was chilling at home, and it was like 1:45 in the morning, and I got a little hungry, so I went to the kitchen to get a snack, and I saw a box that said seedless raisins, and I thought, what if they did have seeds? So anyway, here's my impression of Jerry Seinfeld. What's the deal with seedless raisins? If they had seeds, nobody'd eat them. Thank you. I thought...
Welcome to Junk House.
It's a psychobilly freak out.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. If you, like we said, that was Caleb. That wasn't Jerry Seinfeld.
Was not Jerry Seinfeld.
It's
what? Can y'all be real with me? Was that a good Jerry Seinfeld impression? When I did the Seinfeld impression,
I think Jerry Seinfeld does a bad Jerry Seinfeld impression. Like, I don't think there is a good Jerry Seinfeld.
That's fair. I was just trying to, because it really did. Last night I was like, what if raisins had seeds in them? Because if I think about a grape can have seeds. But if I crunch into a seeded grape, and then I'm having to spit out seeds from a grape, my day is ruined. What's the point?
I have a theory.
A game theory?
A game theory, a raisin theory. My theory is that when you dehydrate a grape, the seeds also dehydrate, and every raisin has seeds.
But the box that I have says seedless raisins.
You can lie on those.
What?
You can lie on every part of a food box except the nutrition information.
That's
lying. True.
You're lying
true.
now.
Don't say that.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
You're lying, Cordell.
No, I'm not.
Next thing you're going to tell me that my Cheez-Its are not made with 100% real cheese.
No, those are. You're good.
Okay.
Thank God.
Yeah.
You're saying these pistachios aren't wonderful?
They're not.
Kill yourself.
Next, you're going to tell me.
Get that blasphemy out of this house. Saying pistachios aren't a wonderful treat for all to eat?
I can't believe you.
You're horrible.
I meant it to, so.
Well, next you're going to tell me we read reviews and they're really bad, so guess the movie.
Hell yeah.
Welcome back. This is where I read a half-star review on Letterboxd, and these two nerds got to guess what movie I'm talking about. This one's a half-star review from Old York.
Thank you, Old York.
You're welcome.
I do not like Horny Spy. I do not like Horny Spy.
Ding, ding, ding. Okay. Spy Kids 2, The Island of Lost Dreams, and I believe they are talking about Gary Giggle.
Sadly, no.
Is this Argyle?
Sadly, no. Half-star review from Liam Cockshaw.
Thank you, Liam. Cockshaw.
Genuinely one of the worst and most painful couple of hours of my life.
That could be anything.
That could be movies. I know what it's not, because they'd be wrong if they were talking about Spy Kids 3D Game Over. So that can't be it.
Here's a half-star review from Rat Goyle. Half a star for Dr. Evil. Someone really desperately wanted me to rewatch this with them. I'd tell them to go fuck themselves.
Ding, ding, ding. Austin
Argyle.
Powers.
Which,
I'm going to specifically say The Spy Who Shagged Me.
correct. Ding, 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 ding.
I was
ding,
going to
ding,
guess
ding,
Gold
ding.
Member. It's my favorite one.
Well, we've
We
already
already
done
done
Gold
Goldmember?
Member. I'm pretty sure
we've
I've done
already
Gold
done
Member
Gold.
before.
Can we
Member.
watch the Austin Powers movies at some point? We don't even have to do it for this podcast. Just the
Yeah.
three of us
Yeah, we
can be
watching a
down.
horny man. Yeah.
Just together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
a very
just
horny
too
man.
horny. I'm gonna say
He's
it.
just
Austin
too
Powers, too horny.
He is
Yeah.
too horny. He is too horny. I will agree with that.
If Austin Powers is the spy movie for funny adults, then the movies we're talking about today are the movies for funny children. Today, we're talking about Spy Kids.
1, 2, and 3.
And 3. What?
And don't forget,
3.
3.
I am about to spit some major facts about this movie.
Spit on me.
Number
Spit
1,
facts.
directed, all 3 written and directed by Robert Rodriguez, which,
Yeah.
yes. This is a continuation of Junkhouse Presents March Movie Madness, where we are watching some choice films from this.
Welcome back to
Mhm. These movies are perfect. They tick every box for the perfect trilogy.
Interesting.
I cannot wait for the next 40 minutes of my life to hear Caleb nonstop compliment these movies. So take off. You got
They're
it.
the
Tell us
best
all about
movies
it.
ever. So here's what I'm gonna say.
Let's go.
And Cordell might not like this part. Spy Kids 1, 2, and 3, respectively, mostly 2 and 3, tell the story of Dune better than Dune.
Interesting. With Juni as the Messiah.
With Juni as the Kwisatz Haderach.
Man, wow.
So, if you've
think you're
seen
right.
Spy Kids 2 and 3, you don't need to go see Dune and Dune Part 2 by Denis Villeneuve. Skip that. Just watch these. Because you probably have access to these. These movies are amazing. Now, Cordell, you're making
Caleb,
a face.
I'm just along for the ride. I want to hear you take your
Okay.
Dune commentary of Spy Kids to the extreme. I'm not going to challenge this at all. My opinions
Yeah.
can come later. It's time to get your corkboard and start pulling red strings across it. You got this, buddy.
Are you okay if I spoil Dune
Yes.
a little bit?
Uh,
Okay. I wanted to make sure before I dive into this.
Yeah,
For those who don't want to be spoiled on Dune, we will be talking about Dune. So
yeah.
there we go.
I'm gonna just kind of
crux-
tune out a little bit.
The crux of Dune is that you have Paul Atreides, who is born to be the chosen one. And he has the chosen one has different names depending on what culture you're from. If you're from the Bene Gesserit, it's the Kwisatz Haderach. If you're from the Fremen, it's the Lisan al-Gaib.
It's an Agaï.
There are so many different things that it could be. He denies it forever. He's like, I'm not what you want me to be. I'm not, if I may say, I'm no longer part of the OSS. And who got him involved in the OSS? His parents. Who got Paul Atreides
Ooh.
involved with this life? His parents, Leto Atreides and Lady Jessica. Now, as we go on further, we eventually get to where, through a mysterious journey that is not really shown very much in the movies, but it's explained in the book as two parts of the universe being connected by a string almost. Paul goes from Caladan to Arrakis, much like Juni goes from the real life into the video game Game Over by the toy maker.
Oh my.
And the
I
toy
think you're just
maker.
going to say the spying life in general.
Yeah. Now, also, here's what we have to know. The toy maker has machinations set up because he wants to be released from the game. So he is intentionally letting people join, much like the Emperor in Dune set up for the Atreides household to take over Arrakis from the Harkonnens, just knowing that the Harkonnens would then retaliate. So we've got a godlike figure and a godlike figure pulling all the strings, right? Then, once he is in there, he obtains the powers, and people start to notice this guy reminds me of the prophecy that's been foretold that we know is coming. Whether it's Lisan al-Gaib or the guy
level.
that will guide us through. And in the case of Arrakis, it's make it to where the Fremen have Arrakis again. In Spy Kids 3D Game Over, it's just win the game. Right? Then there are more connections. What do we hear Juni constantly say in the first half of this movie? They're like, he's the guy. And what does Juni say?
I'm not the guy.
I'm not the
guy.
And Paul continually denies that he is Lisan al-Gaib.
And then later, Juni goes back and says, you know what? No, I am the guy. I am him.
Just
to, like Paul.
Ready for this?
Just like Paul.
But also, another connection, the only reason Paul admits that he is Lisan al-Gaib is because of manipulation from his mother. The only reason Juni admits that he's the guy is manipulation from Grandpa.
Oh, dang.
Oh, my
dang.
God.
It gets deeper. So then, who is in the Dune series? And if you've just watched the Dune movies, you don't know this, so I'm kind of spoiling a little bit ahead, and I'm sorry for this. The secret to Paul staying in power is not Paul, it is Paul's sister. The same way Carmen makes it to where Juni stays in power in the second half of the movie, right? Then,
yeah.
I know what you're thinking. Who's our Fade Rotha figure? Who's our Austin Butler, formerly known as Elvis?
I was just thinking that.
I know you were, and I'm about to tell you. It's Elijah Wood. Because what happens is Elijah Wood shows up and he's like, I'm the guy. And then he gets it, kind of like kicks it into the last bit of the movie. And then guess what happens? Juni lets him go first into level 5. And he dies instantly. The same way that Paul kills Fade Rotha and then is restored. Spy Kids is Dune. Daryl Sabara's character, Juni Cortez, is Lisan al-Gaib. And Machete, Danny Trejo's character, is Gurney, of course.
You gotta.
Chani, as depicted by Zendaya, is obviously Gertie Giggles, as portrayed by Emily Osment.
No. It's the president's daughter. Because my favorite thing about Juni and Gertie's relationship is that they're just bros.
They're just the homies.
They're just fucking bros.
That's fair. You're right.
But the president's daughter.
As portrayed by Taylor Momsen.
Yes.
So.
I completely agree.
Dune, one of the greatest series of all times. Spy Kids, one of the greatest series of all time.
I completely agree. So he really was just rewriting Dune.
He really was
In
just
his own
rewriting
image.
Dune. Yeah.
I have nothing to contribute to this. That is that is not a direction I thought this would go in, but I have nothing to say against this.
Duke Juni Rocket Rebel Racer Cortez.
Yeah,
Yeah. I also do. Yeah.
Do you know why his name's that?
why?
Because Robert Rodriguez's kids are Rocket Racer and Rebel.
Oh,
Yeah, and Carmen is his sister.
which I will say, like, one thing that I love about Robert Rodriguez is that the man has fun nonstop. Like, everything he's ever made is more about fun than it is about anything else. You know, we saw it with The Faculty, we saw it with Spy Kids, obviously. And even to the point, you know, like, because we're gonna get to Shark Boy and Lava Girl. We are, you know, that's next. People clown on that movie.
ready for
People
my
trash
commentary.
that movie. But here's the thing. He made that movie like for his kids, you know? Like
Yeah.
he makes his stuff for fun and for family. And you can see that in everything he does. He just has a good time. Has a really good time, and he makes it so that people he loves can be happy.
Yeah, and especially in the third one, literally the whole theme is family. Everyone's your
Familia.
family. It's just like Fast and
Yeah,
Furious.
and now here's my 20-minute diatribe about how Spy Kids is the Fast and the Furious franchise. So when they go to Tokyo and start drifting, that's just like Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. And then there's the movie Two Spy, Two Kid. That's Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yeah. That's just it. What are y'all rankings of these?
Oh, ranking?
Like just
Yes.
third to first? Like,
Yeah. I'll go ahead and tell you mine because I already know it. From worst to best, or least liked to most liked. 3, 1, 2. 2 is my
Two's the
favorite
best one.
of the
I
series.
agree.
Who's the best one?
I go 3-1.
I
3-1-2.
I go
Okay,
one. I
so
go
same.
1-3-2.
No, that's clearly what we got to debate here because 1, Foop and the Fooglies and the Thumb Thumbs. I think 1 is very iconic.
Great.
Mhm,
Amazing.
mhm.
I think that 3 has the most legitimate, like, okay. Full disclosure, it is hard when looking at something made for fun to, like, make criticisms against it, but we have to compare these movies. I think 3 has the most structural problems of the franchise. I think 1 is a better made movie than 3, even if 3 is more largely in my memory due to being the one I watched the most with those 3D glasses.
Yeah. Which Caleb and I were able to re-experience the 3D a little bit because we were able to watch the third one in VR chat in 3D.
Nice.
I will say
And
that
it was incredible.
I watched. I say I watched it 1.5 times, with the half being in 3D because my headset almost died, and I did get some motion sickness from the mega race and needed to.
Yeah. Mega Race will do that to you.
But see, I also had the experience of watching all 3 Spy Kids, all 3 of the original Spy Kids movies in one day.
That's the way to do it.
Last Friday I was just like, all right, let's hit it. Let's hit the pavement.
Let's freaking go.
But yeah, no, like, I think you are right, Cordo. Like, it is hard to, like, evaluate a movie when it was made for fun. And I think 3 does, like, have the most problems. I honestly think that part of the reason they didn't do more with Carmen and Juni is because they were getting older.
Yeah.
And it was hard to keep them in, like, little kids roles. And so
Yeah.
I think maybe it was just like, man, I wish we could do, like, this as, like, a 2-part story, but A, it's, like, 2004, nobody's doing that, and B, that would require more filming and y'all looking older and older, and that's not great for it being Spy Kids.
Spy Children. And the third one was like mostly filmed on green screens.
It
Oh,
was.
Like
yeah.
you can see at the very end, there's like scenes of them doing it, and you can even tell, even if you're just watching the normal movie. So that was probably just difficult in general, a different pacing, different.
Which I was very curious about. Like, it is hard to tell when looking at the third movie if so much of it was green screen due to budget or directorial vision. Because, like, one thing I noticed, or scheduling conflicts even, because one thing I noticed is that I didn't notice as a kid, in the final battle, when dad and mom and everyone shows up, they are all individually recorded and superimposed onto the same shot together. At the maybe Antonio Banderas puts his hand on Juni's shoulder, and even that might have been clever editing. Like, I'm pretty sure Grandpa was never with him. Like, I think they realized that they could film most of this movie with like 4 actors and spend like 20 minutes with every other actor and be done. And I like, even Carmen, she's gone for half the movie and shows up randomly. Like, I really think the third one, they don't talk about it. I couldn't find articles or interviews. I think the third one had some conflicting schedule problems that likely made it into what it is.
I think there's some of that for sure.
Well, Junie had to prepare to marry Meghan Trainor in the future.
Yeah,
So
he had to like
he
get
was really
ready.
busy. Yeah, that was just my entire joke with Only when I was watching it. It was just like, man, I just can't believe that this man marries Meghan Trainor in the future.
Yeah. Well, also one of my favorite fun facts is Carmen marries Carlos from Big Time Rush.
Yo.
Yep.
Wow.
Because he's
That's
Carlos
crazy.
Pina, and she is Alyssa Vega, I think. And so when they got married,
That's such a sick
they
name.
combined their name
Vega
into Pina
Pena.
Vega. Like they did a combined last name thing when they got married. I learned this because
That's so badass.
I learned this because Carlos was on a season of Dancing with the Stars when I was in high school. And that's when I learned all the fun facts.
But these, yeah.
I think
These
also
movies, though.
like I think the your theory of conflicting schedules has some credence to it. Because looking at movies, Alexis Pena Vega,
Alexis, that's
whichever one, Alexa Pena Vega, has like 3 movies released in 2004 alone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And then in the years after, also has like consistently some movies coming out.
And like Antonio Banderas was getting to be a bigger actor too. Like, I really do think Sylvester Stallone was in the dang movie, for Pete's sake. Like,
yeah, he was the toy
right.
maker.
Like, I really do think that he did this in the way because the only people who are throughout the movie the whole time are the other kids who are just random child actors and Junie. And like, everyone else is in there as little as possible. I think he did this movie to keep it as schedule friendly as possible.
I also think possibly with Ricardo Montalban, who plays Grandpa.
What a charming man. I love him.
First of all, Spy Kids 3D Game Over was his last live action performance.
Yeah, do you want to know something extra crazy I found out?
Yeah.
His movie before this, he like started having spinal issues, and so he was worried he like wasn't going to be able to do movies again. But Robert was like, "No, like your character is going to be this badass in a wheelchair. Like you'll be able to do whatever, and you'll still be this amazing badass character."
Yeah.
So good. Which like that's part of the reason I do love Robert Rodriguez is it seems like on every movie he has never let like anything stop him from getting the actors that he really wants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he'll just go for it and make it work no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Ricardo Montalban, I honestly think probably because he was old enough, there may have been some like health concerns, you know?
Yeah,
About
because all they had to
because,
do
like-
was record his dang head and plop it onto the suit of armor.
Yeah.
On the CGI.
I feel like this.
I can do much more than Rod. I love that bit so much. I genuinely think like sometimes a movie that is made just for fun does not work for me because it's not my kind of fun. Spy Kids is consistently the kind of fun that I like, where it's like, does this plot make sense? Not entirely,
No.
but it goes for it so hard and so consistently, you know? And that's what I really like is when people are just going for it
Yeah.
and doing what they want to do.
But going for it, I really like how 2 goes for it. How
Yes.
2
Lost
sends it.
Dreams, because you get the first one and it's chill and it's quote chill end quote. You get thumbs and still weird shit.
Oh, it's
still robot
yeah.
children.
You are like
It's
100% on a trip.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then they throw you into 2 where there are like combination animals and like there are miniature animals that if you put them on the miniature island you can tell where the big monsters are because they go to the same places. Like there's like all of this crazy lore, and Steve Buscemi and the hardest line in any movie ever. You think God stays in heaven because he too is in fear of what he created? Like that is insane to be in a Spy Kids movie.
Yes.
It is.
And that's why it's my favorite.
So, like, okay, here is my question: is obviously that line from Steve Buscemi is probably the most quoted line from any Spy Kids,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
other than in Spy Kids 3 when Daryl Savara does look at the camera and say, "I'm gonna marry Meghan Trainor." But
Yeah.
but people forget that line's in there. And I'm here to say, pay attention. There was a line in the movie that when I was watching, I had to pause and think about the ramifications of that line within the context of the movie.
Okay.
And it comes from Gertie Giggles in the back third of the movie when she says, "Just wait till I tell Mom that you tried to take over the world again." Now, this man was made director of the OSS.
Yep.
Donovan
Giggles.
Donegan Giggles, played by Mike Judge, the creator of King of the Hill, Beavis and Butthead, Office Space,
Beautiful.
all this sort of stuff.
Voice of Hank.
Voice of Hank Hill. So like that man is goddamn about like that's him.
If you listen close, there's a few lines where he goes a little Hank, and it's incredible.
They made him director of the OSS, fully knowing that he has tried to take over the world before. And then they said, "Hey, we like you. We know that Antonio Banderas is over here. He's doing a great job, and we really like him. And he has not tried to take over the world. But you did, and you had that gumption to go for it."
I think what you're forgetting is that he became the director of the OSS because of a hack. They
that's
show
right.
up Gregorio, and then it goes wee wee wee. No, Donegan.
So
Also, wasn't him like trying to take over the world the first time was the first movie, right? Because
in the first movie, Donegan is one of the agents kidnapped by Foop.
He becomes a
Foogly. In the second movie, Donegan hacks his way into becoming the OSS leader so he can get the transmuger device, which they just made up a name, and I love it. The transmuger device, And then then it's revealed in that line that Gertie's like, you try to take over the world again. Then you meet his wife in the third movie, Salma Hayek,
Right?
in like pigtails.
Which is obviously the only genetic thing that Gertie got is
Yeah,
pigtails.
I didn't even
apparently.
catch that. I didn't catch that they both had pigtails.
Yeah, until
just
you
said
just said it. I didn't know that. No, I didn't know that she was supposed to be the mom until you just said it.
So like, yeah, none of her genes went to those kids.
Yeah,
but
especially not.
Do they say
Gary
it in the movie?
Yeah,
that's his wife.
Yeah, Donegan is like, hello, my wife. Like that's a almost verbatim line from the movie.
So they
I did not hear that.
So in the third movie though, he is working kind of in the butthole of the OSS. Like he's down in the tech lab because he's not in charge. Antonio Banderas' character is still in charge. Gregorio is the leader of the OSS, and he's just out working on the brain.
Okay. This is man.
Yeah, Salma Hayek plays Cheska Giggles.
Cheska,
likely short for Francesca.
Likely short for Francesca. Correct. I also There are these 3 kids in Spy Kids 3D Game Over that are like the beta testers, right?
Yep.
You could have told me that Francis, who is the smart one of the 3 in the game, he's not smart outside of the game. You could have told me that was Brian from Britannic, the YouTube comedy channel. I would have believed you. Like, I would have gone for it. It's not him, though.
No.
And that makes me sad. Also, Sammy and I got to experience this with Spy Kids 3D. Is that there is a whole segment before the movie that's like 6 to 7 minutes of Alan Cumming as Floop telling you how to wear 3D glasses.
You gotta know
when to put them on. And then like glasses on appears across the bottom of the screen.
That was such an interesting choice. I have a theory about why they did the whole glasses on, glasses off thing.
Well, it's a kids movie. Like kids need to know.
Well, I think they were also trying to protect from some strain that might cause. Like they weren't like, "Hey, don't wear this the whole movie because it might hurt your eyes." We're gonna have to specific parts where you put them on.
Yeah. Well, it's also it's kind of a Wizard of Oz type thing, right? In Wizard of Oz, it's all black and white till they go to Oz. I think it's that the movie is 2D in the real world, 3D in the game world, and then when they return to the real world, you take them off, and then when the game world comes into the real world, you put them back on. Like, I'm pretty sure that was the thing he was going for. And so they had to have some way to preface it. Because I watched it just on streaming, and they removed all of the glasses on, glasses off stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Spy Kids 3D Game Over is Dune and Wizard of Oz combined. This is the greatest revelation. There is no other movie that needs to be watched. Turn them all off. Take them all off streaming. No other movies need to be watched. It's only Spy Kids, Spy Kids 2, The Island of Lost Dreams, and Spy Kids 3/3D Game Over.
You know this means we have to watch the 4th one.
No.
I'm going to watch the 4th and the 5th.
No, don't.
I'll watch All the Time in the World and Armageddon.
Okay, and when you come back feeling sad and upset and regretful, I'm gonna laugh at you.
That's fair.
Hey.
Also, just some trivia I learned from IMDb is that apparently George Clooney filmed all his scenes in a room in his own living room, and he just put on a like top of a suit and was just in PJs the rest of the time.
Good.
Yeah, and that part where he's in the third where he's turning into
Sylvester Stallone. Yes.
He just does an impersonation.
Yeah.
And apparently Sylvester was like, I couldn't remember if that was actually me or if that was him because it sounds perfect. It's incredible.
Also just want to call out some notable lines from Spy Kids 3D Game Over. I never even got her email address.
He didn't, okay? He didn't. That's upsetting.
It's okay. She wasn't real.
Yeah, she was straight up fake.
She was
I
a
also
liar.
love that this movie is like, oh yeah, my programming is to be evil and to trick you and to bring you into here so you can release the toy maker. But then I'm immediately going to break programming because of love that I could have done the whole time. And then I'm going to shed a single tear as you escape and I'm obliterated. Like, why do you have to do that? Why do you put that in there? That's so much.
Also, Bill Paxton is in this movie. And in
Anyone ring the Dinkster?
there you
Ring
go.
the Bankster?
What an amazing line.
Yeah, I also need to acknowledge that, like, his character is not a spy.
No,
Yeah.
He is
he's just
like
a guy.
he owns an amusement park that in the second movie, the president's daughter tries to like pull a stunt to get her dad to come talk to her. He just owns an amusement park. And when monsters or robots are trying to destroy the world, they're like, yeah, get him in here. And his nerd son. And he just lassos
Brand him, Daddy.
he lassos and brands a giant monkey robot. He's not a spy.
So I think it's up to us.
He's
Okay,
not a spy.
it's up to us
He's not.
to write the prequel
Ooh.
called Ring the Dinkster about why this guy, Dinky Winks, is his name.
No, his name
Dinky
cannot
Winks.
be Dinky Winks. Is that real?
His
Mhm.
name
Yeah.
is Dinky Winks.
Oh,
And if you remember, he flies in on an umbrella.
he does, like Mary
in that last
Poppins.
scene.
I hold on.
It
You said Mary
juggles you.
Poppins. What if Dinky Winks is not just a charismatic theme park owner?
Okay.
I'm having to Google this real quick. To
I
be sure.
have a quick suggestion as well.
But who is a character that became popular in recent times that also has a love for Mary Poppins?
Yondu.
Yondu Dantu. What if
Huh.
the one and only Yondu Dantu's in disguise on Earth? The
What
time
if
would
this-
line up.
But I have a crazier suggestion
Okay.
that would make for a fun backstory movie. We do a Willy Wonka,
Oh my god.
except it's Dinky Winks and the theme park. So it's like him learning to be in love with these more dangerous theme park rides, him building the theme park, him enslaving small children to be workers.
This is what Junkhouse was made to do. Is to challenge Hollywood into making these good movie ideas.
Finally, some good movies.
Instead of their
Finally.
bad
Finally.
movie ideas.
Quiet up and listen down. Wait, scratch that.
that.
Reverse
Reverse
it.
I think we should do Willy's Wonka, and it's the three of us. We are each a Willy Wonka. We are the Willy's Wonka, and we're all out here making our own individual chocolates and and we're each enslaving a different Oompa Loompa tribe, and we're gonna go to war.
So are you saying one of us is Gene Wilder, one of us is Johnny Depp, one of us is Timothy Chalamet?
Yes, we are the Willy's Wonka.
So who would be who?
Dinky Winks.
Okay.
So Dinky
I wanna-
Winks is the secret. One of us is secretly Dinky Winks and wants to own an amusement park
Okay,
instead of a chocolate factory.
I would like to just say, of the three, we've got Gene Wilder, who's your classic Willy Wonka.
Yeah,
He is I think is still in my head, the Willy Wonka. Johnny Depp, the bad boy Willy Wonka, and Timothy Chalamet, the third one.
The third one. Yep.
So which one of us?
Which one of us is the third one?
Well, it's more like
the sexy one.
the sexy one. Yeah, like Timothy Chalamet is the sexiest of the three.
Gene
sure.
Wilder's the sexiest.
Hmm?
But he's a little more wild. Timmy is hot but tame. You know what I'm saying?
He's hot, but he only does missionary.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think we have the classic Willy Wonka, the bad boy Willy Wonka, and the tame Willy Wonka.
Tammy Wonka.
The tame Wonka. So which of us is which?
Caleb, you always pronounce yourself as the bad boy. Are you pronouncing yourself as the bad boy here?
I guess I am the bad boy of Willy Wonka's.
Willy's Wonka. I need you to
Willy's
get that
Wonka.
right.
Sorry. I'm the bad boy of Willy's Wonka. I am the Johnny Depp, which does mean I get Deep Roy as my Oompa Loompas, I guess.
I love Deep
True.
Roy so much.
I also get Christopher Lee as my abusive dentist father.
I forgot that was in there.
I can't forget.
Okay, so Samantha, which of the two remaining Willy's Wonka would you like to be?
I feel like it just makes sense that I'm the wilder one and
I-
you're the
I
hot,
would-
tame one.
I kind of agree with this.
Fair but hurtful. I'm in.
Well, I'm imagining me as wilder on like acid, like on drugs, that kind of crazy.
Yeah, like that's the thing is that like also if you take the Willy's Wonka and put it in Junkhouse terms, I am the bad boy of Junkhouse, so that makes sense. And Sammy is the most classic, most Junkhouse person of the three of us. You know,
Wild card.
technically Sammy's been on more Junkhouse episodes than you or I, Cordell.
That's true.
I have been the most junkiest house.
She's been the junkiest house.
Oh, what a great time! What a great time to be alive.
And Cordell is the surprise musical, which that makes sense.
That also does. work.
Again, hurtful but fair.
Not in the bad way. Not in the bad
There's
way.
no good surprise musical.
Hey, no. Because here's the thing, Cordell.
Shrek.
We all know it's a musical now.
Yeah.
You're going to be okay with it then?
I'm gonna be okay with it now.
Of course.
I was okay with it when I watched it on a plane. I was like, I know what to expect.
You're okay with anything on a plane.
Not anything. Not okay with bombs.
Okay, well, most of us aren't okay with bombs on planes.
I just wanted to make sure that my stance on bombs is out there.
Have y'all seen that guy that like goes to hotels and cooks nasty nacho food in like the sink and on
Yeah.
the top? So he did
Disgusting.
that in a plane. So I don't want.
Yeah,
that
that
guy
was
to
the
exist on
worst
planes.
thing I ever watched in my life.
Yeah, he
made
kinda
me
sucks.
feel sick. Made
So
me feel
like
sick.
that's something I don't want on planes. But other than that, like whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So what we've learned is that the Spy Kids movies are great, and Ginny Cortez is Lisan Algate.
And I think we're going to do a special. I think we're going to do a secondary special read reviews where I'm going to get reviews from each of the 3 movies. And y'all are going to have to figure out which movie it is.
Oh,
Does this sound fun? Does this sound good?
Okay, all right. I'm down.
I will allow it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank
you're
you,
welcome.
Cordell.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate
I
that.
knew you needed my approval.
I really did. I was gonna cry. Okay, here is the first half-star review. Which movie is this from? Half-star review from Genevieve. Thank you, Genevieve.
Thank you, Genevieve.
Thank you, Genevieve.
Watched in Spanish class. wanted to poke my eyes out.
Spy Kids 2.
Correct.
That was good. That was fast.
That was quick. How about this one? Oh, never mind. That was a 5-star review.
Oh,
That's
wow.
too
Can't read that
good.
one. I can't read that. Half-star review from Pain Raven, but it's spelled with a Y.
Thank you,
Nice.
Pain Raven, spelled with a Y.
PAIN
Absolute
RAY.
pain. Absolute pain. But they spelled pain right this time.
Mm. I'm going to say the original Spy Kids, and they're referring specifically to the scene where Tony Shalhoub's face gets fucked up.
No, they're talking about Spy Kids 3 Game Over.
Cordell's correct. That was Spy Kids 3.
Damn it.
Yes!
All right.
Get wrecked, scrub.
Okay, this is a half-star review from Alex. This
Thank
is
you.
all in all caps.
Okay.
Amazing cinematography, impeccable script reading, and overall amazing movie.
This is actually for Dune Part 2.
This is Spy Kids.
Spy Kids are
2.
Oh.
You got us.
This is a half-star. This will be our final. This is a half-star review from Hugh Grant Lover 69.
Oh, heck yes, finally.
Thank you for coming into
Hugh
this,
Grant.
you freak.
Yeah. Hugh Grant is not in this film.
Spy Kids 3D, game over.
Wonka.
That one, of course, was Spy Kids #1, the original Spy Kids.
Oh,
You're kidding me. That is not a half-star review.
Hugh Grant's
Yep.
not in that movie?
He's not in the movie.
Okay, click this account. I need to see how many
Okay,
times
okay,
they have
yeah.
posted that exact half-star review on various movies without Hugh Grant.
Yes, I got you, Boobala.
Also, Hugh Grant is in Wonka.
Well, yeah, but I thought it might have been like, I hate this movie and I'm refusing to acknowledge that my sweet baby 69 boy Hugh Grant is in this movie.
Okay, Bullet Train. Hugh Grant is not in this film.
Yep.
Pulp Fiction. Hugh Grant is not in this film. Green Book. Hugh Grant is not in this film. Pretty Woman. Hugh Grant. We got Pitch Perfect. We got Baby Driver. We got Legally Blonde. We got Pirates of the Caribbean.
Everyone listening that has a Letterboxd account must go follow Hugh Grant _LVR69.
Their favorite
Yeah.
films are all Hugh Grant films.
Oh my gosh.
And they
I
give
love this.
5-star reviews to any film that Hugh Grant is in.
Honestly, I respect it.
Like The Gentleman,
Yeah,
respect
The
it.
Gentleman.
5-star.
Hugh Grant is in this film.
Yep. Someone with
Wow,
all
Cloud
the time.
Atlas. Hugh Grant is in this film as like 20 different people.
Oh yeah,
In the
they
5-star
loved
review.
Cloud Atlas, that's for sure.
Ugh. This is so good. Super
God.
bad. Hugh Grant's not in this film. There are 18 pages of things they've reviewed.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Does it tell us exactly how many? Let's see.
Go to
158.
Wow. Wow. Well,
So they watched these are when they post the reviews, not when they watch them. But wait, no,
Yeah.
scroll down. When is the earliest this was done? Because
Oh,
they've
yeah,
been
good
doing
point.
almost one a day since July 2023.
Yeah, and this the first two that they recorded were both Oppenheimer.
and Hugh Grant is not in this film.
He's not in. They gave Kingsman: The Secret Service, the first Kingsman movie, a 1 star and said Hugh Grant should be in this film.
I will say this is
But
very
true.
early on in their reviewing before they establish their pattern of only half star, if no Grant. Let's see if there's another Kingsman, because that's a
Yeah,
bit
let's see.
wild. I do agree Hugh Grant should be in Kingsman. Wait, another one, Detachment.
Detachment. Hugh Grant is not in this film, but it's one of the best sad films I've ever watched.
Incredible.
Wow. So they at least, they still speak their mind every now and then, other than the Hugh Grantness of a movie.
Hugh Grant Lover 69 is my new Letterboxd obsession.
I'm following Hugh Grant Lover 69 on Letterboxd now.
You should.
Good, me too. And you should too, listeners. This is incredible.
Listeners, you don't know what you're
man.
missing.
Speaking,
His picture, their picture is Hugh Grant with like a with a Snapchat text over it that says streaks.
speaking of things that we don't want to miss, it's time for a Junk House Everything Draft. All right.
Oh, we're back.
I know.
We're back.
This one's going to be so good. Cordell, I need you to deafen yourself because you're going to be left out this week.
I haven't even
I thought it
been
was
paying
me,
attention this
though.
episode.
All right. So,
Fair.
Samantha,
Yeah.
y'all got me last time with drafting
It was a
things
good prank.
that Caleb likes. So I think this week we're actually going to draft things that Sammy likes and see if Cordell can guess it.
Okay. That's actually really good.
Okay. All right. So, do you think we're good? Think we're good?
I think we're good.
Okay.
Good. He's not looking. He's looking down.
He's looking down.
He
He's
can't
on his
hear
phone.
us.
He's playing Marvel Snap. He's playing Marvel Snap.
He's playing
Oh
Marvel
no.
Snap.
No, sorry. I was putting my Taco Bell order in for lunch today.
Respect.
Oh.
All right. So we have a banger of category here.
Wait, real quick.
And Caleb, I
real
think you
quick.
should go first.
Should I do cheesy Gordita Crunch or Crunchwrap Supreme?
Crunchwrap Supreme. Don't cool.
That's what I was gonna say.
Don't fool yourself.
I do love a Gordita Crunch, but like if it's a crunch day, I'm doing 2 Gordita Crunches and calling it quits.
Also, I know it sounds tempting to do the cheesy Gordita Crunch. It misses more often than a Crunchwrap
That
does.
is true. That is
100%.
We want to make sure you can secure a hit.
And the Crunchwrap Supreme is a guaranteed hit. There's also on the sides and sweets, I think it is. No, it's in the special. No, there's a value menu. Sorry, give me a second. It's important to find this. In the Cravings value menu, a really good one is they got the cheesy double beef burrito.
Oh yeah,
That's a
good.
solid
That's
one.
Good.
That's a banger.
Add some red strips on that if it doesn't.
So
come with it.
this one comes with red strips.
Good. Okay, good. I wanted to make sure.
Yep. And then
All right.
obviously medium Mountain Dew Baja Blast, no ice. Okay.
Of course. Okay, Caleb.
I'm up first. It's gonna go Caleb,
I'll let you
Samantha,
go first.
Cordell. Caleb, Samantha, Cordell. I am going to draft for my first thing, Luffy, from One Piece.
Oh, I love him.
Luffy. Okay. Well, this feels kind of like a defensive one because of that choice.
Mm-hmm.
But Zoro from One Piece.
I'm gonna be real with you. I left him there for you.
Oh my god. You're so kind.
I am going to draft Devil Fruits from One Piece.
The concept of devil fruit.
The concept of Devil Fruits, which means I will get to eat whichever dang one I please.
Which that could be fun when we get to the One Piece episode of me being like, "Hey, Cordell, which one do you want to eat?" Look at all these fun
real
ones.
quick to interrupt our draft briefly. I've always loved the concept of One Piece, even if I have not yet begun my journey. So I've spent a good deal of time looking at every devil fruit in the show and seeing what the users can do. So like I was doing this as a teenager looking in a magazine at Devil Fruits. Like,
Hell yes. Okay.
like
Did you know
it's been a minute.
that Captain Buggy ate the chop fruit, so now he can separate himself
Yes.
into a million
Yes.
pieces? I mean,
He can remove
every
his
part
penis
of
and
him.
balls.
What is your favorite from the one you remember? Which one would you choose? We'll ask that real quick. Before.
So there's one where they can kind of create a bubble around them and control everything within that bubble, and I think that's baller.
Mhm. That's the op fruit
fruit.
that is owned by Law. I'm actually wearing shorts that are designed off of that character.
Incredible.
Right now.
But yeah, I'm a big fan of that one conceptually. I like that it is incredibly powerful but inherently limited.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the first one off the top of my head, but there are a couple others that I really enjoy. I like a lot of the ones that are a little more like one-shot obscure that don't stick around or get used a ton. Like some of the small ones that it's like one person had them and then we moved on kind of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Caleb.
I'm gonna draft something fun, and that is a challenging ambient album.
What?
So,
I just like the concept of that.
yeah, so like a ambient music album that
Okay.
you can have on in the background, but then when you listen in, you're like, oh, that's got some complexity to. Ooh, you know,
one you can really dive into.
One you can dive into if you want.
Ooh. This one might give the game away, and I'm sorry if it does. The Pokemon Volcarona.
How do I spell that?
VOL. I'll just text it to you.
Okay.
Okay, I think I might know what this round is. And in that case,
I cannot win. I've been watching Game Changer as well.
I need to rewatch it from the beginning.
It's really good.
It's really
I'm
good.
really
Do you have
enjoying
Dropout? Do you need me to give you Dropout?
I've got Dropout.
Got Dropout.
I've had it since day one, so I still only pay $5 a month for it.
That's sexy.
Damn.
That's good. Crap. What do
How
I
much
want?
do I pay for it? I feel like I pay a
They
similar amount.
lock you in at whatever price you started paying at. So like if they change their prices, whoever's already like done it is locked in.
I pay $5 as well, apparently.
That first year and a half, only $5 or so. And then they raised it to like $7.
Makes sense. But crazy, I didn't know I got in that early.
Well,
I don't know why I take this draft so seriously. I'm like really thinking about it.
yeah, you just gotta go for it. You just gotta think and just name something.
Gripping and rip
Well, I
it.
just had a thing in mind and it flew right out of my mind immediately.
Do you want me to list what we've named so far?
List it out again.
Okay, so I said Luffy from One Piece. Samantha said Zoro. You said Devil Fruits. I said a challenging ambient music album. And Sammy said Volcarona.
Why do I do this?
How many items do we have total so far?
Yeah.
Like
How
each?
many items?
Once Cordell drafts, we'll have 10 10 each.
10 each? Okay.
So we've done 5 of these.
After this might be the time where we don't have to do it this episode, but we pit all of ours together against each other.
I think
sees
so.
who would win in a battle, and then we can reset.
Yeah, like good flush point.
Yeah.
Frick. I
say it.
Mountain Dew Baja Blast.
Okay.
What do you think the theme is?
Our favorite things. Some of our favorite things. Either that or it is favorite like characters or individuals, in which case I'm way off base with what I drafted.
I don't think you're
Close.
close enough that we'll give it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a prank. It was all of my things that I would want to draft.
Dang it! Y'all done
don't like
flip
Baja
versed it
Blast.
on me. So Devil Fruits was on though.
Yeah, Devil Fruits was on.
Samantha, do you like challenging ambient albums?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. That's one of the things
for
we will occasionally send each other ambient albums we have found and be like, "You listen to this yet?"
Yo, have you heard this shit? Especially while we're preparing for high seas. Because
It's
that's
been
like,
so much ambient music. It's so
that's like
much.
the main soundscape for it.
Well, dang, I just learned something new about my friend.
Yeah. And
You're
you hate me
into
now because I
Brian
don't like
Eno.
Baja Blast that much.
I mean, to be honest, more for me.
Yeah, exactly.
I think
Perfect, yeah.
more people should have that perspective when someone dislikes the thing they like. That just means more for me.
Honestly. Speaking about more for me, though, it's time. It's time once again for my new little segment.
The One Piece! The One Piece is real! Can we get much higher?
Thank you for coming back to 1 Minute One Piece, where I'm going to, with no spoilers and completely out of context, tell you about the last. Actually, it's last week's chapter, so it's not this week's because that comes out tomorrow sometime. But this one is. Wait, you're telling me they got Dune in this One Piece?
Why is everything Dune?
It's a very good question.
Caleb, can you explain the Dunographic phenomenon?
Dune is prolific and a lot of prominent writers read it and love it and therefore take inspiration from it.
Can you explain why giant sandworm makes me feel ways?
You just gotta watch the movie to find out.
You just gotta see the movie.
Okay, well, dang. All I really need in my life at this moment is some really good music.
Well, do I have some music for you?
You do?
It's the one. It's the
What?
one and the only Psychobilly Freak Out by the Reverend Horton Heat off the album Smoke 'Em If You Got 'Em. Honestly, at home in a Robert Rodriguez film.
Yes.
Truly.
Also, retells the story of Dune. Bet you didn't know.
Yeah,
Bet
If
you
you really
didn't
think about
know.
it is a Psychobilly Freak Out.
If you liked how we recapped Dune and referenced it deeply this episode, then you should rate and review us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We also have Twitter and TikTok. You should check those out. Also, like tell your best friends about us. You should like slip a little piece of paper in their hand that says, "Listen to Junk House. It's pretty funny."
If you would like to email us, you can do so at junkhousemailobox@gmail.com. We actually received an email today titled Junk Mail.
We did?
Yeah, it's from Caleb Burley. Don't know who that is.
Never heard.
It is entitled Junk Mail, and it says, "Can y'all help me stop receiving so much junk mail? I have a lot of it, and it bothers me." Caleb, I actually can help you stop receiving so much junk mail.
Yeah,
Yes.
please.
So what you do, or what I've started doing too, in almost every junk mail email you receive, if you scroll to the bottom, there's a little button hidden in the fine print that says unsubscribe. You go down
Did
to...
Junk House actually just save somebody's life?
Yes.
My life.
You go down to that unsubscribe button, you click
I
it.
am that
Sometimes it'll automatically unsubscribe you from those emails, and other times it'll take you to a page where it'll ask you why you're unsubscribing. But after that, you no longer get emails from that email address.
Thank you
Baba
so
Booey.
much.
I hate you.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I was doing good for the world. Yeah, listeners at home, if you didn't know that, save yourself some pain.
For real.
Like, you can unsubscribe from every junk email you hate receiving.
Well, just like we say every single week,
I'm
unsubscribe from your junk mail.
I'm the Dune Messiah. It's me.
Lisa Al Gaib.
I'm Lisa Al Ghul, the Dune Messiah.
you're Muad'Dib?
Yeah, I'm also Maddie Al
Usul?
Ghul.
Your eyes aren't blue.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, you're right.
It's a psychobilly freakout!